You know, today I'm going to take avocado to a whole new level. Now, no disrespect to guacamole and California turkey clubs, but it's not real difficult to mash up some avocado and serve it with a chip or get a few slices and put it in between some bread. Now, today, I'm going to take that avocado Japanese bathhouse style. I'm going to submerge the avocado in some tempura batter in hot oil. Stuff it with a little stir-fried shrimp with some nice veggies. And riding shotgun on that is going to be my Asian slaw with bok choy, bean sprouts, and brown sugar. Now to wash all that down, we're going to take a little zentini relaxation with a little ginger, lime, and vodka. So, let's get this game rolling. I got to fire up a pan and get some of this shrimp saute working. Now, let's see here. I got an onion. I got a little bit of canola oil, some garlic, and some ginger. There's ginger back there. All right. Half an onion. And what I'm going to do is I'm working on both of these items with the slaw and with the shrimp saute. The shrimp's going to be going inside the avocado. I've got to work on cutting these veggies up and dividing them. The onion is actually going to be the only one that's just going to go in this pan. Make sure I got enough heat. All right. Little dice. Now this recipe of submerging avocado came from one of my chefs in my restaurant, Tex Wasabi. His name's Bobby Sandoval. Bobby brought it to me one day and he says, "Hey guy, this seems like something you want to make. I'm going to really put tempura batter around this and put it in the oil and cook this thing." And so we started talking about stuffings and that's how it came about. But I will tell you, everybody that's tried this has loved it. Okay? There's some onion down. Let's get a little bit of garlic. Now, I could press this garlic out, but I do actually want to slice this because the way I'm going to saute this, I want the garlic to stand up a little bit better. As soon as I press it or chop it or mince it really fine, it has a tendency to burn a little bit. So we're just going to kind of leave this in a little bit of a rough chop. Okay. There we are. And part of this goes in here. And the other part of this goes to that side. I'm going to start saving all my veggies over here on this side. And now let's talk about some ginger. Here's my favorite way to take the skin off the ginger. You can get the peeler out if you want, but if you just use the back side of the knife like this and just run it down, look at that. Takes care of it right there. And that skin is really not what you want to have in there. If you're really going to mince it up tight, you know, you can leave some of the skin on there because it'll just press through, but otherwise you want to take off as much as you can. All right. Okay. Get this out of my way. Now this is going to be kind of the base for this whole shrimp. What's going to happen is I've got some 21-25. That means 21 to 25 shrimp per pound in the fridge there. And I'm going to chop those and put them in there. But the ginger and the onion and the garlic is really going to be the basis of the flavor. Okay. Ginger's really fibrous, so if you don't want to have it really stand out with all those fibers, you need to mince it up. Putting it through a press, a lot of times in Japanese cooking, we'll take the ginger and rub it on a grate and just kind of make a pulp and then squeeze that and get the juice out of it. But this here, I actually do want some of the actual pulp from the ginger itself, okay? There we go. Nice mince. Okay, and that goes in. Oh boy, no matter what goes into this after this is just fine. The smell in this is outstanding. It smells like the beginning of any great Asian dish. Turn the heat down a little bit, add a little bit more oil. There we go. Get some of this cleaned up and slide this over into my pile that's also going in to my Asian slaw. Okay, now I got to do some shopping. I need to grab, here we go, 21-25 shrimp. Some baby bok choy, also known as Chinese cabbage, red bell, Napa cabbage. Oh, there's another bok choy. Okay, that's it. So that goes down. Load these up. Now let's look at these shrimp. You know, sometimes you can find shrimp that are in the shell. Me today, I found them that have been peeled and deveined and had the tails taken off of them. Let me throw this down here. Little paper towel trick keeps that cutting board in line. Look at that. Okay? So these have tails off, veins out, shells off. Probably the best way to work with these. If you don't find them that way, you know what? Good luck. You got to do the work. Okay, all I want to do on this is just give it a little bit of a rough chop. I want to be able to make sure that when I stuff the avocados with this shrimp and vegetable mixture, that I can really find out, what's inside of it. Sometimes stuff gets chopped up too small. If you cut the shrimp up too small, they'll cook really fast. And since this is kind of getting a dual cooking, with being cooked in this and then also being put inside the tempura and cooked, I don't want to have that happen. I want to let these kind of survive in flavor and texture. Okay. There we go. Oh, outstanding. I have a difficulty when I start working with this, with ginger and shrimp and onions and a little soy sauce around, I end up eating half of what I'm cooking before it even makes it to the plate. Okay. These go down. A little bit of oil in there, not too hot of a pan. A little bit of sizzle happening. There we go. Let's clean this up. Whoa. Remember, one of the rules is always clean your own knife. I'll just wipe this down. Okay, next what I got to do is get that bok choy, that red bell pepper, and that Napa cabbage, and those have to get cut up. And what I'm trying to do is kind of consolidate my menu and not have too many different things going on at one time. I'm going to be able to use a little bit of each in each dish. So why don't I grab this cabbage first and a new knife, and I'll get chopping. All right, that finishes up the bok choy. All right, so a little bit's going in here to the shrimp mixture going inside the avocados, and then some's going inside here in the slaw and over there. All right, shopping to the pantry. I need to get some midden or some mirin, some Japanese cooking wine, a little bit on the sweet side, and I need to get a little sesame oil, which I keep in the fridge because it'll go bad otherwise. All right, so I'm going to deglaze this. If you don't have the midden, then a little white wine should work fine. Just a little bit in there. And I'm not going to cook this too long because I don't want those shrimp to go too far. All right, this is ready, that's ready. I got to chop up the rest of this ginger and garlic and get it ready for the sauce, for the slaw. I'll see you when you get back. I have peeled so many carrots, it's almost an art form now. All right. What do I have over here? Well, I've got some shrimp that I've done with some peppers, some bok choy, Napa cabbage, garlic, and ginger. That's all getting ready with a little bit of green onion and some sesame oil to become the stuffing of some tempura avocados. And I got some soy sauce here also. There we go. Now I'm going to hit that just with a little bit, turn off the heat, and let it cool down. What do I have to this side? Well, on this side over here, some more green onions, and this is going to my Asian slaw. Now, my Asian slaw has some of those same ingredients, red bell peppers, bok choy, Napa cabbage, all that going on, and I'm going to add in a couple other key ingredients, like these bean sprouts. Now, get some of the bean sprouts down, and what I need to do now is I got some carrot that I need to julienne, some onion, but first, before I do that, I've got to get some ginger and some garlic going, and I've got to start these because this is actually going to become kind of like my sauce or my dressing that I'm going to be putting on top of my slaw. So let me get a little canola. There we go. Now, I minced these up nice and fine because they're going to actually be going into the dressing and not being strained out at all, so they had to go down a little bit smaller. There we go. And I got to watch the heat on this, get the oil all the way around them. I don't want that garlic to burn on me. Ginger I'm okay with. The garlic I really got to keep an eye on, so I'm going to turn that down a bit. Okay. This out of here. Peeling carrots reminds me of prep cooking. I did a lot of that. Okay, so I got my bean sprouts down. I got my carrot. Let me get in a little bit of onion. Some red onion. Red onion works really good, and I don't necessarily have to saute it or have to do anything to it if I just cut it nice and thin because it's got a lot of natural sweetness to it. Let's get these out. No fingertips. Good job. Okay, sprinkle those in. There we go. All right. Now I've got to cut the carrot down and do that into a julienne, as well as get these snap peas cut down into a julienne. So I'll work these out right now. so now I'm done with those snap peas, and look at all those fresh veggies. Now, I keep saying julienne, and that means kind of like these little matchstick cuts like that. That's kind of what it's called, a julienne. So those are all together. All right, now my ginger and my garlic that is going to be making the dressing for that slaw. Let's see. That needs to get a little soy sauce, a little midden, and some brown sugar. So what I need to do is just deglaze this a little bit with the midden. Oh, boy. Now, that'll cook off a little bit of the alcohol, but not quite all of it. So fair warning on that. Okay, so a little bit more, a little bit of the soy. There we go. And we're going to add a little brown sugar. We'll just shake that, and that'll dissolve just a little more than a tablespoon of brown sugar. There we go, and that'll dissolve in there nice. Now I can pull this off the heat and let it chill out because I don't want to be putting this hot dressing on top of the slaw. It'll wilt everything, and I want it to stay all nice and vibrant and crunchy. So we'll let that just kind of chill out for a second. Now, this has had a chance to rest, and it's mellow. Now we're going to start on the avocado. So look at this. We love avocado in California. I mean, I cook it any way I can, so go figure that we're going to end up tempuraing one. So we take the avocado, cut it in half. Now watch yourself with a knife with doing this. You can also do this by just keeping it on the counter. Me, I've had a little bit of time with avocado. Turn it, get the pit out with a spoon, or if you're going to be a little bit more brave, that way. Now see what happens? See the natural cavity of the avocado? I need to get as much shrimp and veggies as I can inside this avocado. So to do that, what I'm going to do is kind of make the cavity of the avocado just a little bit bigger. Okay, just take a little bit of the mixture out of there and kind of look at what size cavity I want to make. Now, depending on how ripe the avocado is how easy is the skin going to come off. Sometimes it's going to come off really easy, and other times you're going to have to sit here and mess with it a bit. What we want to make sure that we do is don't create any holes in it. The tempura batter will help us out in that capacity, but that's kind of what we're looking for right there, okay? All right, so we grab the mixture, scoop it in, get a nice pile on top, make sure that it's nice and firm. Excellent. Okay, so this one's done. What I got to do next is get a big pot of oil going. Then when we come back, I'll have all these done. We'll dip them in the tempura, fry them up, and the party will get started. I'll see you in a minute.